So the division series rounds are set everywhere. What's going on, everybody? Hope you're doing well. So division rounds are here. And the Mets are going to be facing the Phillies. The Padres are going to be facing the Dodgers. The Tigers are going to be facing the Indians, the Guardians. And we're also going to be facing our Yankees. Okay? It's a best of 5 round series. And it's going to be pretty exciting. So I want to talk about the Yankees today. Okay? They've been prepping all week to face the Royals. Okay, and I got a couple pieces of intel for you that I want to share. And again, I'll keep you updated on all the intel. I'll get you the roster once it's officially announced. But I have some inklings as to what the roster might look like. But we'll see what happens when they actually announce it. Aaron Boone said they weren't done making their final decisions yet. But make sure you stay tuned. Stay subscribed to this channel. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. If you enjoy the content, hit the like button. That way, when the roster does come out, you'll be at the front of the line when it does. Okay? When we go live to talk about anything, you can join us as well. Thank you so much for it. We are on the march to 22K, 22,000 subs. We're going to try to get to 25K by the end of the year. So your support really means the world. I thank you so much for it. Now, I've heard from the Yankees, okay? And this is from my people. All right? So the Yankees have been prepping all week. Bunting, okay? And they play at least two 5-inning simulated games to stay sharp so that there's no drastic fall off of activity like they had during the All-Star break. When they came right out the gate, they were ice cold for almost the whole week after the All-Star game because of lack of activity. Okay, they've been staying sharp and staying game focused with the intention of preparing well to face the Kansas City Royals. Now, what does that tell you? What does it tell? Well, I don't know what it tells you. It tells me that they've been practicing bunting a lot, which makes me believe that, which I've kind of put out on my roster predictions, that speed's going to be an element in this postseason, particularly in this round. Okay, and the Royals are a pesky athletic team. As long as we do our best to neutralize certain areas in the offense, we'll be okay. But we've got to capitalize on what we're going to be facing too. Michael Wacha is going to be pitching first game 1 against the Garrett Cole, and it sounds like Seth Lugo is going to be pitching game 2 against Carlos Rodon. So we've got to jump on Wacha and we've got to jump on Lugo immediately. Okay. Looking at the Yankee stats versus the Royals versus particularly Michael Wacha, remember Wacha and Lugo kind of neutralized the Yankees early this season. Both of them did. We had a hard time against both of them. So we've got to make adjustments here. Now we're a healthier team now. We're a more athletic team, more complete team. So it will be a different challenge for them, okay, as well as for us. So, which I still think speed's going to be an element. So I'm sticking with my prediction that Duke Ellis might make this roster over Trent Grisham. But if Trent Grisham winds up being on the roster, I would not be surprised. Okay, I would not be surprised. But looking at the stats versus Michael Wacha particularly, a lot of the Yankees have a pretty solid batting average versus Michael Wacha. Juan Soto's about a 400 batting average versus him. Obviously, he's going to be in the game. But Alex Verdugo bats almost 300 against Michael Wacha. So if I'm the Yankees, strategically, I'm starting Verdugo in game 1 against Michael Wacha, not Jason Dominguez. Okay? For that reason. Verdugo has experience versus Wacha and good experience versus Wacha. Okay? This is not a knock on Dominguez. I would probably consider starting Dominguez in game 2 against Seth Lugo. Give him a different dynamic that he didn't face the last time he pitched against the Yankees. Okay? That's how I would approach it if I was them. But I'm not them. So, and you let me know what your thoughts are. And on the flip side, I'm going to try to neutralize 2 guys in particular. Maybe 3 guys in particular. Bobby Witt Jr., obviously, and Salvador Perez. I didn't try to neutralize those guys. And there's a third here. I can't seem to remember his name. But there's a third here they've got to neutralize as well. But I think they've got to solidify their defense as much as possible. Keep the ball on the ground, okay, as much as possible. And hopefully get some length out of our starters and fortify this bullpen attack. Now, we still don't know who the roster is going to be on the bullpen. But what I do know that I reported yesterday is that Cody Poteet will not be on it. It's not because they didn't want to put him on. It's because he's not eligible to play on the ALDS. because of the 15-day rule that was triggered when he was optioned out the last week of the season to make room for Adam Warren when he came up here to get a fresh arm. So he's not eligible, unfortunately, for the division. But if the championship round, the ACS, I do see him on that roster. Okay. Now, there's been a lot of stuff yesterday and today. Michael K. particularly and Angel Sherman saying there's no excuses for the Yankees. No excuses. It's almost as if they have their talking points ready to go in advance, so that if something doesn't happen, if the Yankees don't get past this round, they already have. See, I told you so. They already have their talking points ready to trash certain players and certain blah blah blah, Boone, Cashman, whatever else. Okay, tell it to the Astros. Tell it to the Baltimore. Okay, teams that so many fans and even content creators said the Yankees would never beat. They were both eliminated. Okay, on paper, does it create an easier path? Maybe for the Yankees, but the Tigers are hot. Okay, Tigers are hot. Look what they did to the Astros. Okay, and they're playing supremely good baseball, even after trading away Jack Flaherty. They're on fire. Absolutely on fire. And the Royals have been pretty solid too in the second half of the season, particularly. And they made some additions. I mean, and they were my predicted team to be the Cinderella team to make the postseason, and they're in. So, and I'm not surprised they made additions that fortified the team, made it better. They loaded up on pitching in the beginning of the season, which is helping them carry the team through into the postseason. So I'm not surprised that they're where they're at. And you tell it to the Brewers too, division champs in the National League Central, who just got upended by the New York Mets, who are playing volcanic baseball. They are the hottest team in baseball right now, the Mets. There was no denying it. You could see how well, and I thought the Mets were going to get eliminated last night when the Brewers hit those back-to-back home runs in the seventh inning. I said, "Oh my God, this is right." But Pete Alonso to the rescue, 3-run shot off of their closer, Devin Williams, opposite field, and then he tacked on another run, driving in Jesse Winker to make it 4-2, and that's how it ended. So the Mets are in there. Now they have a more daunting task against the Phillies. But the premise of this, the reason I bring this up is do not sleep on any team. Just because it was supposed to beat these guys on paper means nothing. The Diamondbacks ran the table on the National League last year. Nobody thought that was going to happen. Texas Rangers ran a team on the American League last year. Nobody thought that was going to happen. They were both wild card teams. So you never know what's going to happen. Okay? Do we want the Yankees? Of course we do. Of course we do. But would I be surprised if the Royals win? No. This is postseason baseball. This is the playoffs. This is exactly what it's supposed to happen. It's exactly why it's here. Everybody starts at 0-0. And again, teams get hot, teams get cold. So if I'm the Yankees, I'm being very strategic in nature. Figuring out, and thankfully you can make adjustments to the roster each round so that we're facing a team like the Royals. Maybe speed's an element, a bigger element. Maybe if we get past them and we face the Guardians or the Tigers, the elements to the attack. We take that, we cross that bridge as it comes. But we got to get through the series first. And how in the hell do we beat the Royals? Got to neutralize these 2-3 bats, and we got to jump on Waka and Lugo. And this is just my opinion, speaking from experience and someone who watches the game every day, watches the Yankees every day, okay, and who analyzes each team they're going to face. This, to me, this seems to be the most logical line of attacks. And based on the way that the Yankees have been prepping this week alone, working on bunting in multiple days, leads me to believe that the Yankees are going to use speed as an element here. Now, you might disagree. That's cool too. Totally cool. You might agree. Totally cool. That's why I welcome all opinions. So, but to me, it is a winnable series. But I'm not subscribing to the there's no excuse propaganda. I'm not doing it. Okay? It's not how it works in postseason baseball. I'm not taking that from people who don't play baseball. That's just me. Okay? When the roster comes out, you will get it immediately. Go Yankees.